Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous. We're heading out to Virginia, and we're going to meet up with Gavin, Leonard. And Gavin is the host, owner of Red Veins Outdoor. Gavin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bruce. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine. It took us a little while to get together, but we finally got it done. And that's a pretty nice buck you got behind you.
Yeah, it's not bad. It came from Iowa. There's another one over there and a couple more in front of me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
well, let's see those. Pop them up. Just move your camera.
This one's another one from Iowa. I don't know how well you can see it.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. And we got another one right here. And then we got a couple more.
Any from Virginia?
Yeah, there's actually the one over there is from Virginia. And then there's a couple in my room from Virginia. So we've killed some good deer for Virginia, I guess you could say.
No, that's an Iowa buck behind you, though.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, the one over my shoulders, an Iowa buck. It's the prettiest deer I ever shot. Little young, but 132-ish. And I didn't really care. It was just such a gorgeous deer. And I'd been hunting 4 days, and it was getting late in the evening. And light was absolutely perfect. I wish I had filmed that because it was just completely awesome how the light was bouncing off his tines and stuff. And he's got 6-inch, they're between 6 and 8-inch brow tines. And I saw those, and I didn't see anything else. I was hunting with muzzleloader and went, boom.
Yeah, I've been there the last couple of days trying to get it done for sure.
Oh, geez. It's just, that's why I shot him. And bigger deer were killed that week, but it didn't matter. Like I said, it's the prettiest deer I've ever killed. And killed a couple, and I'm just happy with them. Tell me the story about the buck behind you.
It's actually, my dad actually killed it. I was younger. I went there this year with him to Iowa where he actually killed this deer. We sat in the same spot, and he actually shot another 160-plus deer. It was probably 58, 59 yards, and it was about -10. And we had been sitting there.
Muzzleloader?
Yeah. No, bow.
Was it bow? Late bow season?
Yeah. And we had been sitting there pretty much all day, and we was freezing, and it came running. Actually, we had set exactly where it came out of the woods the previous. It was like about 58 yards, like I said, and he didn't stop it, so he hit it a little far back. The deer bled more than any deer I've ever seen bleed and not be able to find it. It stood in the soybean field where he shot it and turned around and looked at us, and I was sitting there looking. My camera actually died as I was filming it, so I threw the binoculars on it, and it pouring the blood, and I was like, this deer's going to die. We had walked a long ways to get back to that spot because we was hunting on public.
So you were DIY, public land, late
Iowa.
Season, January, right?
Forget the exact month, but it was pretty late.
December, January, whatever.
Yeah. Like I said, he shot it 58 yards, and it turned right when he shot, and he hit it far back, and it poured the blood. Long story short, we looked for probably 3 hours up until the night and tracked it, and we was going to go back to the hotel because we was leaving the next day. And so that morning, we was going to spend all morning looking for it. We was going to try to get a hold of some dogs and stuff, but it actually snowed about a foot that night.
Oh, no.
Yep, so it kind of messed up the whole story ending for us, but it was a beautiful deer. I got it on film. It's on our Instagram. The deer itself, the video, it would have been another wall hanger for sure.
So you didn't get the deer.
Didn't find it, no.
Okay.
Never.
Now, can you send me the footage? I'd love to have that and put it with the show.
Yeah, for sure. I got a really good video of it. I got great footage. So, yeah, I'll get that sent to you.
Yeah. No, was it dark blood? Do you think you got the liver?
No, I think he hit that main artery in its butt.
Oh, the femoral artery?
Yeah, one of the big arteries in its butt. So, I mean, usually the deer bleed out fairly quick from that. And
that's not a bad shot. I mean, it's not a recommended shot, but
right.
Take the femoral artery and they just drain.
Yeah, like I said, we were shooting a rage broadhead. We had great success with rages, and it just sliced it wide open and just tracked it. I mean, I know the deer died, which is probably the worst part of it, but just the snow ultimately got us. It's hard to do anything in a foot of snow.
Yeah, you can proximity gauge it because you go to the last page, last blood.
Yeah.
But from there, it's hard.
Yeah, it's just a hope and a prayer at that point.
Yeah, it's really hard. Wow, so that's your dad's buck up above that. He cut that a few years ago. Archery hunting?
Right, yep. Iowa.
Now, have you hunted Iowa yourself?
Yeah, I went this year with him, but I mainly filmed them. But I did hunt a little bit, but I'm going to be able to draw a tag this year. So I'm going out there November 10th, I think, for about a week. So I'm excited for that for sure. Every time.
No, it sounds like you're getting tags every year.
Just about every other year we get one.
Okay, he either gets one or you get one?
Right, yeah. Well, you got to put in a point, and they got a good point system out there. And I think every state should implement it just because it allows everybody an opportunity and it allows deer to grow and not get hunted so much that they can't grow because you got people just overhunting deer and every part you go is overhunted. So I really like their system. You got to point in a point, and after that point, you usually can get drawed for different counties out there. Some counties take 1 point. Some take all the way up to like 7 or 8, I think. So
yeah, the southern zones below I-80 are hard.
Right.
I mean, those are the two zones, but you get north of Des Moines, up along the Missouri River, all the way across. It isn't as hard. I've got 2 points, and I don't hunt by myself anymore, so I've got to wait for my buddy to get 2 points, and then we'll be back there probably next year.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's probably my favorite place I've ever been hunting-wise.
Yeah, there's a lot of big deer in my 2 cents worth. The secret is there is DIY land for late season hunts that you can have an opportunity to shoot a mature buck. I'm not going to say it's going to be a booner, but I'm going to say a 150 class, 4.5-year-old deer or older. You'll have an opportunity if you hunt 5 days.
Both of these deer he killed on the 2 big ones. Like I said, I don't know how big well you can see them with my phone, but if I could get a good angle, you guys would see just how big they are. They're both pushing 160 or over 160. I'm not exactly sure what they scored, but they're right there over that 160 mark, and they're both on public land in Iowa. So
right,
we're about an hour and a half over the Missouri border where we hunt in Iowa. So
okay, so you're in that southern tier, the southern zone. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about hunting Missouri?
We did, actually. We went there, and I went for my senior trip in high school. My dad took me, and we scouted it, and they actually had flooded the year before or that year, and it was just not good. We didn't see sign or anything, so we didn't have a very good hunt that year. But they got some big deer as well.
Yeah, they really do. And I had a friend last year. He hunted for 36 hours, and he left Wisconsin, drove there, and got home in 36 hours and killed a Pope and Young class deer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got some big deer. Just got to find them.
Well, that's like anything. And so how do you find them? We got thousands of people trying to figure out how to find deer on public land because that's what you're talking about. So how do you find deer? Out of state or right home, right in Virginia? Right.
Well, in Virginia, it's tough. We actually own some of our own private land here in Virginia. I'm about 100 acres, 120 acres, which isn't huge, but it's definitely enough to get it done. But the problem I found here in Virginia, we're a big believer in management. On our farm, we manage it pretty well. And we do everything we can with food plots and everything to attract the deer to our property just so we can let them grow. But our neighbors and stuff and just the people around in my area is pretty bad about shooting young deer, which I'm all for if it's a kid or something. But if you've killed 5 160s in your life, or just as an example or whatever, I feel like you should let some of the younger deer grow. And I feel like it's a big problem in our area. And I really do think my area could have some big deer if people would manage better and just do. Poaching's a really big problem where I live as well.
Why so?
I live out in the county. I live 20 minutes from, I guess, a big city. It's not a big city, but it's pretty big. So I live out in the county, and just everybody comes here and rides the roads at nights with their buddies, and it makes it a nightmare. So
now, are they shooting to eat or just shooting?
No, just shooting illegally. Just shooting illegally to have a good story with their buddies, I guess. It's a headache.
What does the DNR say?
We got the game ones out here pretty heavy, and it's got better the last couple of years, but it's just there's not enough game ones around here to cover all the land, so that makes it tough.
I don't hear a lot about poaching from people. In fact, you're the first person this year that's brought up that issue, because the areas I hunt, yeah, it does happen, but it's kind of self-controlled, and people know they hang out at the bars or whatever, and they know that some of the people will turn them in.
Oh, yeah.
They just know that. They know they can't get in the fight or anything like that, in the end, they're going to lose out. As opposed to say, hey, if you do something, I'm going to do something to you. It's kind of where I hunt in Wisconsin. It's not kind of, it is where people say, no, we're growing big deer and we want to continue to grow big deer. If you're going to do that just because you're drinking beer with your buddies and going out shooting deer, then that's not so good.
Right. And the worst part about it is it's not even their property. You know, they don't care.
No, they don't care.
Some of these people don't even care out here. I mean, I've actually seen people shoot at deer illegally from the road around here and just not even on their property, and it infuriates you. So
yeah, they don't even leave their truck.
Yeah, but when we go to Iowa and stuff like that, I haven't seen any issues when we've been out there, heard of it. We just got back, me and Abby just got back from Huff Outfitters in Ohio on a turkey hunt. They said they didn't have any issues with it either. It's a beautiful place up there, and they got some monster deer. We had a really good time up there.
Well, give them a shout out if you were up there. Did you pay them to hunt turkeys?
They let us come up and hunt, do a media hunt with them. They got some great land. They got almost 3,000 acres, and they're just great people. We'll have a video up on the scene. Huff Outfitters in Ohio.
Okay, where are they located?
Ohio, just 30 minutes right over the West Virginia border. They're right there at the Ohio-West Virginia border. They got a beautiful lodge. They feed you like a king. We seen 10 deer every morning turkey hunting, so that was a good sign. And they're really good people, and we had a great time. We actually killed an 8.5-inch bearded hen for mine. Abby did, so it was pretty cool. I'm sure other people's killed them, but we had never killed one, and it was 8.5-inch bearded hen, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Now, Hawk Outfitters in Ohio, so it's just hawkoutfitters.com?
Hupp, Hupp, Outfitters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, good. And it's always good to give people shout-outs that treated you right and stuff. Now, when's that footage going to be up on your show on Red Vein?
We're going to get it put together. Right now is a tough time for me because I just completed real estate school. I have one test left for my state boards to pass it.
Oh, you're going to pass it. It's no big deal. It's just
tough.
a long test.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't want to be doing it. I want to go outside and shoot my bow and hang some tree stands.
Yeah, well,
plots out.
You got to pay the bills, dude.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's tough right now getting stuff done, but we're trying to get that done and get it out.
Good. Now, in your bio, you said you're trying to go to work for Whitetail Properties?
Yeah, I'll probably work around here for about a year and get some experience. And then me and Dan Perez talked to him quite a bit, the owner of Whitetail Properties. And so through Red Reins and stuff, me and him's kind of made a connection because obviously Whitetail Properties is all about hunting. So that's kind of my plan in a couple of years to get on with them and work for them. So
are you going to move up to Iowa?
If Abby would let us, I wouldn't a heartbeat.
Well, kind of put that in the prenup, man.
Maybe get a cabin or something out there for hunting season.
That'd be a great place. I mean, people want to buy where the deer are.
Right.
I mean, it's expensive any place.
Yeah.
I live in Colorado, and it's just the average person can't buy 1,000 acres out here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You just can't do it. And even in Wisconsin, Buffalo County, where I've hunted, and $60,000 for 100 acres for a lease. I mean, it's like, holy fright.
Yeah. It's crazy.
No, it's a lot of money. But there's guys coming out of Chicago and Minneapolis, mostly Chicago and Milwaukee. They'll get up there and 5 or 6 of them will get in and they'll go, yeah, fine, we'll do it. And so much money. It's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. It always helps if you could split it up with people.
Yeah. And it's just the way it is. You and I ain't going to change it. I'm not sure sex ain't going to change it. It's a commodity because there's only so much land, and farmers are realizing, and it's good for farmers because all of a sudden they're making really serious money. They can pay their taxes and buy a new truck and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it all goes around for sure. It's like a circle.
And so I'm happy for them. It makes it tough for guys looking for a place to hunt, and especially Buffalo County and stuff. Those days are gone. I mean, if you don't know somebody that's got land, then you're going to not hunt it or pay an outfitter.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Well, tell me about Red Veins. We've been talking about that buck, but let's just talk about why you started Red Veins and where you want it to go and where people can see your product.
Yeah, I played baseball my whole life in college, playing baseball and stuff. And I grew up hunting. My dad had always got me. I've been in the woods since I could walk. And for my area, we always killed big deer, me and him, every year it seemed like. And it just drew attention, like at your local gas stations and stuff like that, which I just always thought was cool growing up. And so one day we just actually killed a deer, and I was like, I'm going to make a Instagram. So I made an Instagram account. Me and my mom was driving down the road, and I was like, I wonder what I'm going to call it. And I just came up with the name, Red Veins Outdoors. We shot it with a bow, and it turned the veins red. So that just kind of stuck. It took off. I made the Instagram, and I kept posting pictures and good content, and it took off. And our first year, we was fortunate enough to sign with the Hunt Channel, and we aired some episodes with them last year. And this year, we're growing our YouTube channel and stuff. And like I said, with real estate and everything going on, it's going to be hard to run the show this year. But what we're doing basically right now is filming as much as possible and traveling as much as possible, like to Iowa and Ohio and places like that, to try to get footage to get all the episodes stored up. We're in talks with the Sportsman's Channel pretty heavy, but it's impossible to air with anybody unless you have the episodes put together. So
yeah, you got to have the content.
Yep, that's what we're doing right now. We're filming our butts off, trying to get the episodes and content put together and ready for them, and hopefully work something out and get on there and get it rolling with them. But it's been a blessing for sure. It's really taken off, and I couldn't be more thankful from everything it's given me so far.
What do you mean it's really taken off?
It's just provided opportunities for me and the people on my team. Like for instance, the real estate, I would never have met Dan Perez or probably been interested in whitetail properties as a profession if it went for Red Veins. I mean, I would have just been a normal real estate agent, but through Red Veins and stuff, it really helped me make connections. I mean, people like Huff Outfitters allows me to get up and do some deer hunting in different counties, and some sponsors. We've been fortunate enough to link up some pretty significant sponsors and stuff. So it helps anytime anybody wants to sponsor us. We can fill a tag, buy a lease somewhere, travel and get film, and just help us live out our dreams of hunting for a living. You know, that's the ultimate goal, is to do this for a living. So that's where we're at right now and the goals we have in place.
Everybody can't be the Jury brothers, just picking, naming one thing, because they've worked really hard for a long period of time. What advice would you give somebody starting out like you are if they really want to get into the industry?
My advice would to be a good person. And if someone decides to sponsor you, truly work hard for them and be a good and loyal to them. But mainly I would say to film everything and just to be always honest and film everything and do everything right. And everything will come back. It's like a circle, I always say. It'll come back to you. You be a good person and do things the right way, it'll come back to you. So basically just film everything. Try to get your name out there is the best way possible. Make Instagrams, Facebooks, YouTube channels. It's really where everything's going, is social media. Just grow it, your social media, and grow it and grow it. Start you a website, get you some apparel, and just try to make as many connections and get your name and your team's name out there as possible. And it should, I mean, if you just do everything right, it'll take off for you.
Social media and the digital world, you're in Virginia, I'm in Colorado, and we're chit-chatting and we're videoing and we're making content for Whitetail Rendezvous. That's what it's all about. And it's easy, but it's hard. And I liked how you said you got to work at it. And I believe these are your words. You got to be a good person. There's no shortcut.
It's a job. Like you said, not everybody can be Mark and Terry Drury and, you know, be able to do it full time. Like, you know, we have real jobs and stuff. So it's definitely hard. It's worth every penny of hard work.
So you think you can make a living now, Whitetail Properties? I mean, that's real estate's a competitive business because there's only so much dirt out there. Yep.
It kind of hurts me where I'm in Virginia working for them. It's obviously not as big as farms as, like you said, Iowa or something, but I think with Red Veins and stuff, I can really make that happen. I think it can be beneficial as a career for me. So looking forward to it.
What do you play in baseball?
First base.
First baseman? Were you a good hitter?
Yeah, big old guy, hit bombs.
Big old guy and hit bombs, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like to hit, love to hit.
Did you go 4-year scholarship?
Yeah, I played at Milligan College. In Tennessee. So, yeah, it was a fun time.
Well, good for you. Any pro aspects when you were graduating from college?
Yeah, I have a bunch. Just decided to go, don't want to travel and stuff like that, leave certain people here. So hunting's it. Real estate's it for me for now.
Wow, yeah, because if you're good, baseball's hard because you go in the minor leagues and you have to work your way up, and then you finally get called up and make the big money, because in the minors, you don't make money. I mean,
it's people don't understand. You go through rookie ball and single A and double A and triple A, and it's not what you see on TV, those stages. It's you're on a bus with people that don't care about you, that they're just trying to feed their families by playing baseball just like you are. It's not what you see on TV, that stage. Baseball is enjoyable. I loved it.
Good for you. How come you're so smart? You get a lot of wisdom.
I don't know.
Where'd that come from?
I guess I've been hanging around Abby too much.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it's not funny. That's nice to say because you seem to get your stuff together.
I try to. You always think you got it planned out, but you never really do.
Things will change, but I mean, just your outlook and everything, and realizing you could have gone pro ball and bounced around for 3 or 4 years and maybe made it, because it's hard just to make it into get signed. That's just the beginning. I mean,
it's just the beginning, foot in the door.
And it's so hard to get to the dance, as they say.
Oh yeah, it's a roller coaster. One of my buddies, he actually plays for a rookie ball team, and I was talking to him about it, and what they pay him isn't worth it unless you get a big signing bonus, and just it's a roller coaster getting there. That's for sure.
Yeah, but good for you. Let's talk about hunting styles. Now, I know you're doing a lot of filming, but when you go out to hunt, do you self-film or have somebody else film you?
I try to always have someone there. It's so hard to self-film, but I mean, I can self-film and stuff, just with tree arms and tripods, stuff like that, obviously. But yeah, I always try to have someone there to film.
So what's your favorite time personally to hunt in Virginia?
November for sure. Either the first couple of weeks when deers are on summer patterns still here, or November for sure.
So we got summer pattern, they're feeding, you've been watching them. Are they in velvet or have they rubbed out?
No, they rubbed off here. You can drive up to Kentucky and Ohio and shoot one in velvet, but here they rubbed off.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I mean, we're just right up the road from them too, or right down the road. So.
Yeah, because I know on our farm, the best deer we've taken off was in September in Wisconsin. Soon, I think it's the second week or first week of September, and we killed him $180. He had watched it all year, all summer. It was pretty easy when they're on that pattern.
Oh yeah, been introduced to the human scent at any. They haven't been hunted, so and they're just on their pattern, feeding, doing their thing, sneaking there and kill one.
Yeah, right place, right time. And Garrett said it was easy because he could see where they were feeding right below his house on the farm through the woods and stuff, but he could still see it every night, and he just watched it, and then got in his tree and he walked under, and that was that.
Yeah.
It's kind of anticlimactic. You think it's shooting $180, but he did all the work all summer with trail cameras and personal observation. So the deer was an old deer. It was 6.5 years old.
Right. Yeah. Me and my buddy early on, it was like 75 degrees, drove up to Indiana, and Joby Shaw, he's on my team. He shoots for Matthews, and he's a real good buddy of mine. Drove up to Indiana and met up with him, and we stayed at his house had planned on staying there for about a week. The night before I got there, he had actually let a 156-inch deer walk that he didn't know was a 156-inch deer.
I don't know how you do that. I don't. If it's over 150, I don't know how you let him walk.
He showed me the footage. Just the way it came in, it did not look 156. But I headed up there after he told me that, and we went and hung a 2-man set up to film. We hung it about, I forget what time we hung it. I want to say about 2:00. We went back to his house and grabbed some food and stuff and sprayed down real good and went right back in 30 minutes later. Got in a stand, and I was actually sitting there eating a Snicker. Looked over, and I said, Joby, big buck. And this buck had been bedded there the entire time we hung this stand.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. And
he never left, did he? He was, 100 yards from you?
No, 50, 60 yards. He came in the 20 yards and just
that sucker committed suicide, dude.
Just smoked him. And it was the same deer, and he scored 156 inches, and his body was a freaking tank. You can see the pictures over at Red Veins on my Instagram, and it was a tank. That was the coolest hunt, one of the coolest hunts I've ever been a part of. I mean, I just couldn't believe that deer was bedded there 50, 60 yards the entire time. We snuck in 20 minutes afterwards and killed it. It was 75 degrees, early season, super hot. It was awesome.
Okay, let's camp out here and take this apart. So the night before, out of the same stand, the guy had seen the deer?
Yeah, Joby had seen the deer, and he was filming the deer. And
Okay.
Well,
From the same stand.
Yeah, he was using a climber at that point.
Okay. Different stand then. You set hang-ons, right? A double set?
Same tree, different stands, yeah.
Okay.
So he had a little poor man plot that he had put in right there, and that deer was bedding right there. He just walked right past him. It was last light. So, like I said, the footage, you couldn't tell. I mean, it looked like it was a 140-inch deer, but he just didn't want to shoot it because he wanted better footage. So I got up there, and it just unfolded. It was awesome.
Okay, let's say, no, where's the tree? Do you have a kill plot out, or why is that deer bedding there?
He's just an old deer that lived there. Not many people can get to that spot. Pretty good hike if you walk back there. We rode his four-wheeler, and parked it really close just because we had thought that deer would be coming from a way different direction than what he did. And he was making a circle around Joey's farm borders public, and we was actually sitting on public when we killed it. But that deer would walk and do a circle around his whole farm and bed on public. And he would feed only at nights, and he would lay there all day on that public piece of property. And Joey patterned him through trail cameras, and we just snuck right in on his bedding area and killed him.
So the wind was in your favor, right?
The wind was in our favor. I can't.
He had to hear you, though. I mean, come on, dude. You're talking.
You would think. I was sitting there videoing everything, hanging stands, sitting there just hanging a stand. When we rode the four-wheeler right up there, nothing. Can't believe it.
Because you rode the four-wheeler when we were hanging the stand right to the stand.
Right to it. Well, 20 yards from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so still blown away. I sit there and just think about it sometimes how we pulled that off. We did. I got the pictures to prove it. And the video. The video's up on our YouTube channel. It's a pretty cool hunt.
Yeah, I'm just trying to break it down. Okay, so you get a buck. He's never been pressured at all.
Mm-mm.
Is he used to seeing people or not?
I mean, it was the first 20 minutes. Just, he was bedded down. He was getting ready to make his circle, to start his circle regimen that he was doing every day. And he just stood up and came right in.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
when you think about it.
Yeah.
For awesome. That class of deer, I've seen some deer that are stupid, but they're not 1.5-year-old, 2.5-year-old, even 3.5-year-old will do some silly things sometimes. Walk into you and look right up at you and just stand there. Yeah,
I think it was a 5 or 5.5-year-old deer.
Wow.
That's probably the coolest hunt I've been on, just as far as how it all played out. I was like, when we was editing it, I was like, man, this is hard to edit. It was the first deer. You ain't got no B-roll, nothing. So but we edited it exactly how it happened.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, you think about it, and I just ran a post by Dan Infeld, who's out of Wisconsin, and amazing, amazing hunter. And they haven't read any of the Hunting Beast. Look him up. There's a shout out for you, Dan. But anyway, he talks about finding killing trees, and he hunts swamp bucks. He hunts public land in swamps and that, and he patterns the deer. But even chatting with him, I can't remember him telling me a story like that. Like he had set up wooden beds, because Dan finds beds and then he hunt really close to bed.
Yeah, Joby's really big on that. I don't do that as much as he does just in Virginia. I think it's really based on state to state and farm to farm on whether you can do that or not. Joby, but he's a really big believer in if you can get in there early season in a bed, find a big buck's bedding area. If you can get in there early season before he's smelt human scent, before he's seen humans, before he's been pressured, you can get in there. Usually that first or second sit, you can kill him. Just go in there in the right wind, spray down real good. He's a really big believer in that, and I guess that's something that I've learned from him, that works for sure.
Yeah, because like you said, they haven't seen a human since January.
Right. It's just, for
the most part.
Yeah, I just think the first or second week of every season, whether it be turkey, deer, squirrel, whatever season, it's just the easiest. And they haven't seen humans, so it's just the easiest to kill one.
And plus the 3-set rule. The first set's the best time. Second time it drops to 60%. And then your last set, maybe you got a 50-50 chance. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, I'm a big believer in it.
Yeah. And then after that, set up, not take your stand down because you might hunt it later, but just get the heck out of there.
Yep. Good luck.
Do you ever use the run and gun technique where you have an observation stand and watch bucks coming in and pattern them and then go in just like you did? You hung a stand and killed the buck that night.
maybe not in a stand, but how my farm's set up, we can drive and look at fields a lot during the evenings. We usually drive and we'll video and just glass them with spotting scopes or binoculars and maybe write it down on a notebook and try to get a pattern of them. And then obviously running trail cameras is huge in patterning deer. And that's what ultimately led to us killing bushes, was what Joey named that deer was bushes. So that's what ultimately led to us killing it, was trail cameras.
So how, if somebody wants to get hold of you, how would they do that, Gavin?
Just send us a message on Instagram, red_veins_outdoors. There's an email in the bio. You can just click on it and it says just click here for email, or you can send us a message. Facebook, Instagram, it's the easiest way.
So
red_veins_outdoors.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
And so if somebody wants to reach out to you just on social media, go from there?
Yeah, just any questions or anything. It's always nice to meet new people. Just message can go a long ways. So
now, just the early May, are you booked for the year?
We're not booked for the year. We're hopefully going to get back up to Ohio, going to Iowa, going to with an outfitter in Missouri, Twisted Oak hunt in Missouri. So that's our three main ones right now. And then we're going to hopefully try, me and Chandler Davis, another guy on our team, we're going to try to lease a farm in either Ohio or Kentucky this year, which we need to be doing within the next couple weeks. Probably should have did it before then, but we're going to try to and try to get a couple deer up there a piece. So that's what we're going to try to do.
So somebody's got some land in, you said, Ohio or Kentucky?
No, we're going to look for a lease up there.
A lease in Ohio or Kentucky?
Yes.
So listeners, if you know somebody in Ohio, Kentucky, get a hold of Gavin and have a chit chat with him.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it. We'll take care of the property and we'll work something out.
All right. Any last words?
Appreciate you having me on. It's been a blast.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure it won't be the last time.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope we can hunt together sometime.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That'd be a fun trip. All right. With that, thank you so much for listening, and be on the watch or lookout for some really great announcements coming from Whitetail Rendezvous. We do have a Deer Hunting Institute coming on board in 2019. I'd like to give a shout out to a brand new promotional sponsor with us, Gumleaf USA. Gumleaf USA are European handmade rubber boots, and you'll be hearing more about that soon. So with that, this is Bruce Hutchin, your host, saying have a great day.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.